Hello everyone, welcome to Bi Black and Bookish, a booktube channel where a bi black girl who reads too much claims that she wants to have like a regular upload schedule, but then she drops off the face of earth for like 3 months. So sorry about that. I've been thinking maybe I shouldn't even try to have an upload schedule anymore because it's not like this is like a big YouTube channel. This is just like a little side project thing I like to do. I shouldn't stress myself about it. I shouldn't take everything so seriously. And in a way, I kind of do, which is one of my many flaws. But yeah, so I think for now it's just gonna be like kind of whenever I have the urge to upload a video. And right now I do have that urge because it's Pride Month. So happy Pride, everyone. I just wanted to make a video where I suggest some mangas that I've either read, partially read, or I've just been recommended myself. And all these mangas feature LGBT plus characters. So yeah, that's the plan. I know that with the political environment that we're currently in, like with the passing of all these anti-trans bills and the rise of like hate crimes against our community, it's harder to feel happy about having a happy pride. But I do think there is a sense of like revolutionary joy when you find happiness despite all the hate that is surrounding you. And so I just wanted to suggest all these books because mangas do make me happy. I complain about them a lot, about like the art style and the storytelling. The storytelling it tends to rely on, and also the disappointing lack of shoujo mangas lately, but I do really love them. So here are 15 manga recommendations with LGBT plus characters. The first manga I'm recommending is My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. I've mentioned this before in one of my previous videos, and it is not only one of my favorite like mangas, it's also one of my favorite memoirs and just straight up one of my favorites. My lesbian experience with loneliness, as well as the sequels, follows the writer's personal life as she comes to terms with her sexuality, struggles with her mental and physical self, what she wants to do with life, and how exactly she fits in with her family. Kabi Nagata goes through ups and downs, and you really find yourself rooting for her and wanting like what's best for her, what she wants, you know. It's very good, like in a raw and emotional way, and I highly recommend it. My second recommendation is the completed shonen series called Blue Flag, which is about four high schoolers who find themselves in a bit of a love square. The main character, Taichi, is this short, shy, awkward guy who's in his final year. He is childhood friends with this big, lovable jock character named Mita. Through the years, they seem to have grown apart, but now they seem to have a chance to kind of rekindle their friendship because they are in the same class for their final year of high school. In their class is also a girl named Futaba who is a like Taichi in a lot of ways. She's short, shy, and kind of awkward, and she finds herself liking Mita. But she also has a friend named Masumi who seems to have a crush on her, and at the same time it is revealed that Mita may have a crush on Taichi. And while Taichi's trying to help Futaba get with Mita, they get very close as well. So it's very messy and very chaotic in a way that only high school relationships are. My only problem with this manga, my only big problem with it was this scene with one of Mita's jock friends, and he gets into a fight with Mita after it's revealed his feelings for Taichi. And their female friends, two of their female friends kind of call him out for this behavior. And another friend says, hey, what you're doing to this guy is not different than what he did to Mita, which made no sense to me. Like, of course, it's not equatable to, it's not comparable, like a physical fight to saying, hey, you shouldn't be homophobic to your friend. Um, but other than that, I do think the ending is very, very much worth it, and I highly recommend it. My third recommendation is a standalone BL manga called Our Dining Table, which is about this salary man named Yutaka who meets these brothers, Minoru and Tan, one his age and one a lot younger, like 6 or 7 or so, and they end up bonding over onagaris, and so they end up meeting up a lot together and cooking and eating, and Minoru and Yutaka end up kind of falling for each other. It's very sweet, especially since one of my favorite ways of showing someone that you love them is kind of like through food. Another manga, which is my fourth recommendation, that kind of does this as well, is called She Loves to Cook, She Loves to Eat. And it is very similar to Our Dining Table, but with lesbians. Unlike Our Dining Table, this one is a series, and I've only read the first volume, but I am very much looking forward to the second one. And I've also recently found out that it got turned into a live action with a completed first season and a second season in the work. My fifth recommendation is Boy Meets Maria, a single volume manga about this high schooler named Taiga who dreams of becoming an actor. So in order to help with those dreams, he joins his school's drama club where he meets the beautiful Maria, who is actually named Arima Yu. They never use the term genderqueer to describe Arima, but they are assigned male at birth, and they seem to regularly shift between masculine and feminine presentation. So I do think genderqueer is probably the best word to describe them. While the art and story is great, and with a very cute lovey-dovey bonus chapter, there is a big trigger warning for sexual assault against a minor. So if you're sensitive to that, I would not recommend reading this manga. My next recommendation is the standalone GL manga, I Married My Best Friend to Shut My Parents Up. And the title pretty much describes what it is pretty well. Maichi's parents are pressuring her to find a husband, but she has zero interest in that. So to avoid all the hassle, she assigns for a same-sex marriage license in Shibuya with her best friend, Hana. An interesting fact is that the Shibuya Award in 2015 was the first place in Japan to recognize same-sex couples by issuing same-sex marriage certificates like the one that Machi and Hana apply for. And of course, Hana and Machi end up falling in love with each other because this is a classic fake relationships trope. My only problem with it is that I don't really like the way that they are drawn. These are supposed to be like grown-ass women, either in their mid-20s or like late 20s. I'm pretty sure closer to mid-20s. But they're supposed to be grown-ass women, but they kind of drawn to look like little teenage girls, and there's like really no mature appeal to them. And that's kind of my problem with a lot of GL mangas, and also the fact that they sometimes don't seem to have a nose, but that's like a problem with manga art style in general. There are two other mangas that I've also had a similar problem with, where I liked this story. It was a cute story, but the women didn't really look like women to me. They looked more like girls. And those two mangas are Catch These Hands and Goodbye My Rose Garden. Catch These Hands is about a young woman who is finally ready to step up adult-wise and leave her kind of like old delinquent ways behind when she suddenly runs into her old high school rival who suddenly confesses that she's always kind of had a crush up with her. So they start kind of like trial dating. The second manga is Goodbye My Rose Garden, and it is a historical drama. And unlike the previous ones, it is less like cutesy and fun, and it's supposed to be more like a period drama, like I said before. And it is about this young Japanese woman who travels to England in hopes to become a writer and also to meet her own favorite writer, and ends up working for this young English woman who promises the Japanese woman to help her meet her favorite writer, but only if she promises to help kill her. Like I said, less cutesy, more dramatic. But I thought it was a pretty good story. But like I said, the artwork leaves much to be desired. My ninth recommendation is the GL I Love You So Much, I Hate You, which is more mature than the previous three that I've mentioned. And and also the women even look like women with noses, which is a plus. It is about this office affair between the married manager Ayano and her subordinate Fujimura, who has a history of falling for older, unavailable women. There is an explicit label on this because there are some more steamier sex scenes in here. And I know that for some people, an infidelity like plot point isn't that appealing. So I would suggest to read with caution if you are uncomfortable with that. But other than the infidelity plotline, I don't know. I really liked it. Life Us from the Line is my next recommendation, which is about these two high schoolers named Ito and Nishi who meet while playing a game of White Line, which is just basically walking along the line along the road. It is probably my favorite BL out of this list because it not only follows them in high school when they start to fall for each other, but also like through college, as young adults starting their career, and as old people and even their deaths. And it was just very sweet and heartwarming, and I just love seeing like old people in love. So yeah, I would very much recommend it. The next manga I'm recommending, My Androgynous Boyfriend, isn't necessarily labeled as like queer, um, because it does feature a het couple, but the titular character, My Androgynous Boyfriend, I would argue is very gender non-conforming, maybe leaning a little bit more towards the feminine side, but I don't know. There's just something very queer about it. You'll get it if you read it. And the main couple are just very cute and supportive of each other. So I don't know. It's nice. It's a nice read. There are three volumes out currently in English, and I've only read the first two, but it's good. I like it. Another manga that I've only read partially, but I did really like at least the first chapters I've read, is a GL called Hello Melancholic, which is about this shy loner high school girl who ends up meeting this upperclassman who kind of pressures her into joining their band, but they kind of end up getting a little crush for each other. It's cute, which is a lot coming from me because I tend to not really like high school romances. I think out of all the mangas I've recommended so far, only two of them centered around high school, I think. Other than Life Was From the Line, but that Life Was From the Line only started in high school. It's not all about like high school romance. I think the only two I suggested that is about high school is Blue Flag and this one, Hello Melancholic. I'm too old to really care for high school romance anymore. But for Hello Melancholic, I do think it's completed online, wink, wink, wink. But I'm not sure if there's an official English publication for it. My last three manga recommendations are mangas that I haven't read yet, but I have been recommended and I've heard mostly positive things about. The first one is called Boys Run the Riot, and it is about a transgender teenage boy who ends up getting really into like street fashion, and it is also written by a transgender writer. The second one is called What Did You Eat Yesterday, which is about this middle-aged gay couple and just kind of like their daily lives. It's cute, and like I said before, I just love seeing like older people fall in love. You don't really see a lot of middle-aged or like senior couples in manga because it is mostly targeted towards like teenagers and young adults. But I don't know, I think it's cute seeing like just a slice of life middle-aged couple doing cute things, just making each other dinner. I think it's adorable. The third recommendation is one that I have been recommended a lot, and I think if you go anywhere and search for queer manga recommendations, you will find this one, and it is called Our Dreams at Dusk, and it has a large LGBT plus cast of characters, and I do believe it's completed, and I've just heard very good things about it. I'm looking forward to reading it myself. So those are all of my 15 queer manga recommendations. Let me know if you've read any of these, what's your thoughts on them, or if you have any recommendations yourself in the comments below, or talk to me on Twitter or Instagram at Nadia Owens. So until then, which is God knows when, I'll see you later. Bye and happy Pride.